The best places to visit in Uruguay. Bordered by Argentina and Brazil, the tiny country of Uruguay is often overlooked by those heading to its bigger neighbors. Uruguay is a country you cannot afford to skip from your Latin America itinerary. It has so much to offer, whether it's surfing, beaches, good wine, stunning scenery, delicious steaks and of course marijuana. Cross its borders and the reward will be endless delights, from glamorous coastline to ranch-peppered interiors where wild lands, gaucho culture, and local folklore lives on. It was one of the first on the continent to allow gay marriages, legalize abortions in 2012 and established a welfare state in 1903. And of course, the marijuana, which it's so famous for since December 2013, Uruguay legalized the cultivation, sale, and consumption of marijuana for recreational use. Here are the top 10 places to visit on your next trip. 1. Montevideo. Montevideo is the seat of the nation's capital and home to almost half of its population. This eclectic zone is high on fun, and steeped in cultural life. There are lots of different aspects to discover here. Start with the historic downtown where you'll find neoclassic buildings right next to towering skyscrapers. You can visit the port and industrial side, spending the day shopping, or check out the beach communities of places like Positos and Carretas. In the evening enjoy theater, galleries, and concerts. You'll love the tango bars and seaside discos. Be sure to check out La Feria Tristan Narvaez Flea Market, the Rambla, and Plaza de Independencia. Two. Colonia del Sacramento. Colonia del Sacramento's historic quarter is a UNESCO World Heritage Site because of its beautiful colonial architecture and urban landscape. Colonia del Sacramento changed hands between the Spanish and the Portuguese several times, each leaving their mark in the city that now is also blended with contemporary society. The historic quarter surrounded by the city walls feels like it's suspended in time, a very picturesque place by the Uruguay River. Three. Salto del Penitente. Uruguay has a very rocky landscape around La Valleja, where you can find Salto del Penitente. You should mainly go for the breathtaking views from up the mountains, which lead you to small waterfalls and natural pools. There is also a restaurant in the Rocky Mountains that you can't miss, and various adventurous activities offered, like rock climbing and horse riding. 4. Pan-de-azucar. Pan-de-azucar is a hill in Maldonado. It is easily recognizable because of the big cross constructed on its top. The hill is home to a natural reserve that hosts a great display of native Uruguayan wildlife. Some species even used to be endangered and were saved by the efforts of the natural reserve. Do some hiking, experience nature, and climb to the top. Five. Punta del Diablo. This old-timey fishing village is now the #1 summer getaway destination for Argentines and Uruguayans. It's also the heart of the backpacker scene in Uruguay. There's been a lot of development recently, but the town hasn't lost its charm. Another fantastic town with a gorgeous coastline and laid-back atmosphere. You'll love this little corner of the country. Be sure to check out the Sandy Plaza, located about 200 meters inland. Small sandy streets fan out in all directions. Six. Punta del Este. This beach resort town has everything: sand, yachts, casinos, and sun. Sometimes called the Monaco of South America, Punta del Este is a bit expensive compared to the rest of Uruguay. But the amazing coast, activities, restaurants and more make it a must-see town. Don't miss sunset in either Jose Ignacio Ibarra and the surfing in La Playa de los Dedos. There's some great beach art here as well. You'll love gawking at the seaside mansions and walking along the tree-lined and idyllic streets. There's also a museum, Casa Pueblo, created by Carlos Paez Valaro, as well as the Pablo Echegaray Foundation, the Museo del Mar Marine Museum, the Museo Rally Contemporary Art Museum, Arboretum Lusich, and Isla de los Lobos, the largest seal colony in the Southern Hemisphere. Seven. Laguna Garzón. Just a few kilometers down the coast from Punta del Este, the tranquil Laguna Garzón feels a million miles away. A haven for migratory birds and wildlife, windsurfers and local fishermen. The scenic stretch of water can be crossed via a new ring-shaped bridge widely celebrated as an unusual architectural feat. Those wishing to stay the night can sleep at the lake's floating lodge, where rustic wooden cabins offer the ultimate private retreat. Eight. Cabo Polonio. Cabo Polonio is a hamlet located on the eastern coast of Uruguay in Russia. It's a settlement of around 95 people in a national park. Right on the tip of a peninsula, it's a fascinating place to visit and very bohemian. It's popular with travelers and worth visiting as a day trip or an overnight stay. There are no roads, and you have to reach it via a 7 km truck drive through the sand dunes. Nine. Carmelo. Carmelo lies opposite the Paraná Delta where the Rio Uruguay becomes the Rio de la Plata. Dating from 1860, it is a great place for yachting, boating and exploring the delta. The Santuario del Carmen at La Velleja and El Carmen dates from 1830, and the Casa de Ignacio Barrios once belonged to one of San Martin's lieutenants, a signer of Uruguay's Declaration of Independence. It is a pleasant little town with a tree-lined avenue leading to the first swing bridge built in Uruguay. The local economy depends on tourism. Livestock and agriculture, and the local wines have a good reputation. Ten. Piriapolis. Piriapolis used to be the summer holiday destination of choice before Punta del Este took off. Today it remains a popular spot thanks to its beaches, but also the more tranquil atmosphere it offers. Apart from its promenade, Rambla de los Argentinos, which the city revolves around, and its beaches, one of the most famous attractions in Piriapolis is the Sugarloaf Mountain, Cerro pan-de-azucar, the third highest point in a generally flat Uruguay. From the top, there are endless views of the coastline and the authentic gaucho landscape. There is also San Antonio Hill, much closer to the center of town, which you can ascend by chairlift. To get to Piriapolis from Montevideo, you can take a bus from the city or from the airport. A good option is to rent a car and then continue exploring further up Uruguay's coast. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, comment and subscribe.